Hello, guys. So let's begin. Functions and role of police. Police is one of the most omnipresent organization of the society. Omnipresent means present everywhere, and it is actually true. Policemen, therefore, happen to be the most visible representatives of the government. In an hour of need, danger, crisis, difficulty, when a citizen does not know what to do, whom to approach, police station and a policeman happens to be the most appropriate and approachable unit and person. They are the most visible representatives of the government. Why? Because they are found everywhere. You can see them anywhere on duty, right? And they also they are in the government service, right? Appointed by the government. So representatives of the government. And whenever there is a difficulty, you are in a need of danger, you can always go to the police. The most easier person or the most appropriate approachable person to go to and tell what your crisis or what your difficulty is, whom you are being fearing against, that all you can report to the police. Police are expected to be the most accessible, interactive, dynamic organization. Their roles, functions, duties are natural to be varied and multifarious. Multifarious means of multiple dimensions. है ना, हर एक फेस्टिवल में भी उनकी ड्यूटी लगा दी जाती है, राइट? एंड कॉम्प्लिकेटेड, नॉटी एंड कॉम्प्लेक्स. नॉटी मीन्स ऑफ नॉट्स. ब्रॉडली नॉट मीन्स KNOT, नॉट. पता होगा इसका मतलब क्या है. Broadly speaking, the twin roles which police are expected to play in a society are maintenance of law and order. However, ramifications of these two duties are numerous, which results in making a large inventory of duties, functions, powers, roles, responsibilities. Some of them are to uphold and enforce law impartially. Impartially का मतलब पता होगा अब. To protect life, liberty of the public. When you are in danger, you report to the police for what? For protection of your life or property or freedom. If some person has confined me to a room, I will call police and I will say that this person has confined me. So that will also result into my freedom, my liberty, and that they have to do it impartially for everybody equally. Promote and preserve public order. Why on festivals also they are on duty? Because festivals there is more crowd, right? And more ruckus over there on streets, on shops, on roads and everywhere. So to maintain law and order there are also cases that in festival where there is a huge crowd, some insensitive material or some rioters, they can find the opportunity to disturb the peace of the society. So to maintain that peace or harmony or public order, their duty is, even on the festival days, they are not granted vacations. To protect internal security, prevent and control terrorist activities, of what I was giving the example, breaches of communal harmony, militant activities and other situations. To protect public acts of vandalism, violence or any kind of attack. When two people are fighting against themselves on a road, what do? You call police. Fight is going on. Please come and get the matter resolved. Because now it is not in the hands of the public sitting over here. They are beating the public as well. So now the matter can only be in your control. और पुलिस के सायरन से भी लोग डरते हैं. Why? Because they have that power, right? To prevent crimes, reduce opportunities for commission of crimes through their own preventive action and measures, and aiding and cooperating with other relevant agencies. Other relevant agency can be police helping CBI to investigate into the matter, or police helping the magistrate or court to cooperate, right? Police investigating the crimes, okay? Police arresting or police sometimes they say that मैं इसमें तुमको अंदर कर दूंगा तो फिर तुम इतने साल रहोगे. So all that can also develop fear or can set a deterrence in the mind of few people who are not actually of that nature, of that violent nature. वो एक बार पुलिस के धमकी से डर भी जाएं, right? And they may not repeat that act in future. So that can be a preventive measure, or other preventive measures you will in detail do in CRPC. Accurately register all complaints brought to them. register and investigate all cognizable cases coming to their notice through complaints, to create and maintain a feeling of security. Why you call police when you are in a need of danger? क्योंकि आपको पता है कि वो आएगी तो मैटर रिजॉल्व हो जाएगा. वो आपके इफ़ यू आर कन्फाइंड इन अ रूम, दैट एग्जाम्पल विच आई गेव, तो आपको फ्रीडम मिल जाएगा बिकॉज यू सेंस अ फीलिंग ऑफ सिक्योरिटी इन देम दैट दे विल बी एबल टू हैंडल द मैटर, दे विल बी एबल टू सेट यू फ्री, राइट. To provide as first respondents all possible help in situations arising out of natural or man-made disasters. ये you may must have seen the army personals or the police. सबसे पहले तो उस एरिया की पुलिस ही पहुँचेगी ना, wherever that disaster has occurred or wherever there is an accident which has occurred. So the first person to reach there will be police. Later on, if there is a disaster area or a landslide or whatever, natural or man-made disaster, later on fire brigade or other required personals will be present. But first of all, police will only go there, right? And then you can also say that that fire brigade example which I gave you, that police is cooperating with fire brigade officers to help the fire to be extinguished in a building, right? To collect intelligence relating to matters affecting public peace, all kind of crimes including social offences, communalism, extremism, terrorism and other matters relating to national security, and disseminate the same to all concerned agencies besides acting as appropriate on it themselves. To take charge as a police officer on duty of all unclaimed property. Like if there is an unclaimed property, you don't know who is the owner of it. जैसे कहते हैं ना कि इफ़ इट इज़ अनक्लेम्ड और इफ़ यू डोंट नो वेयर दैट प्रॉपर्टी हैज़ कम फ्रॉम, मेंटेन अ डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम इट, डू नॉट टच इट because there can be anything inside, right? That may lead to explosives as well. So what you do, you call police, right? Take the property, untouched property, unclaimed, तो ये property यहाँ रखी हुई है, अब देखो इसमें क्या है, right? So that all also police officer comes into picture to train, motivate, ensure welfare of public personals. Police force comes under the state government and executive realm. Police Act describes the structure and function of the police in general. And since it is under the state domain, so these Police Act can also be of various states. Other courts in India. In addition to civil and criminal courts outlined, there are a number of special courts and tribunals established in India to govern specific areas of law, like Motor Accidents Claims Tribunal, Rent Control Tribunal, and etc. And as their name suggests, their function is also the same, like motor accidents claims. So whenever there is an accident which is caused by a motor vehicle, okay, find out the meaning of motor vehicle. Then whatever claim means under insurance. You may have heard that even motor vehicles or cars or any vehicle that you operate, they also have an insurance claim, right? So when there is an accident caused by the motor vehicle to other person or to the person riding it, so whatever claim you have taken, whatever amount of premium you have taken in an insurance policy, according to that the damage done, the proportion of damage done to the property, that is the vehicle, or to the person or to the rider, उस हिसाब से मनी दिया जाएगा. That is claims, and that is decided if there is no agreement made, like person who has taken the insurance, he is claiming कि मुझे इतना ज़्यादा नुकसान हुआ है तो मुझे इतना पैसा दो. बट जो कंपनी है जिसने इंश्योरेंस पॉलिसी दी थी उस पर्सन को, वो अग्री नहीं कर रही कि नहीं इतना क्लेम नहीं बन रहा, हमने तो सिर्फ प्रॉपर्टी का लिया था, तो जितना व्हीकल को डैमेज हुआ है हम उतना ही देंगे. आपने थर्ड पर्सन को जो डैमेज किया वो आप अपनी पॉकेट से भरो. बट दैट पर्सन इज़ नॉट अग्रीइंग टू दैट. सो हो गया ना एक डिस्प्यूट, एक डिसअग्रीमेंट हो गया. नाउ द पर्सन अप्रोचेज द कोर्ट विच इज़ मोटर एक्सीडेंट्स क्लेम्स ट्रिब्यूनल. ट्रिब्यूनल्स आर व्हाट? क्वासी जुडिशियल बॉडीज, राइट? सो इस ट्रिब्यूनल में फिर अमाउंट ऑफ डैमेजेस और अमाउंट ऑफ क्लेम दैट हैज़ टू बी पेड बाय द कंपनी वो डिसाइड किया जाता है. रेंट कंट्रोल ट्रिब्यूनल, सो देयर इज़ अ डिस्प्यूट बिटवीन अ लैंडलॉर्ड और द टेनेंट, तो उनके बीच का कितना रेंट होगा, दैट ऑल इज़ डिसाइडेड. Person is not paying the rent on time or is not vacating the premises despite the landlord being asking him to do repeatedly. So there can be many circumstances, and rent control basically, for this we have a Rent Control Act. The basic difference between Rent Control Act and TPA, wherein both the concept of tenancy is covered, the basic difference is the amount of pecuniary jurisdiction. In every state there is a Rent Control Act, and according to that certain amount is fixed कि सपोज 4,000 तक का जो रेंट है वो रेंट कंट्रोल एक्ट में आ रहा है, अबव 4,000 रेंट टीपीए में जाएगा. सो ऐसे ही पेक्यूनरी जुरिस्डिक्शन के अकॉर्डिंग इन दोनों एक्ट्स की डिसाइड करी जाती है. ठीक है. सो इफ़ इट्स रेंट कंट्रोल एक्ट देन यू कैन गो टू रेंट कंट्रोल ट्रिब्यूनल. टीपीए नॉर्मल फैमिली कोर्ट या सिविल कोर्ट में मैटर जा सकता है. रेलवे क्लेम्स ट्रिब्यूनल, डेट रिकवरी ट्रिब्यूनल, दैट इज़ अ कंपनी विच इज़ इन डेट. ओके. एंड जो उसके शेयर होल्डर है वो चाह रहे हैं कि मेरा डेट क्लियर हो जाए. सो डेट रिकवरी दैट कैन बी. National Green Tribunal is for environment related matters. Income Tax Appellate Tribunal, that is for income tax related matters. But also one thing to mention over here is this is an appellate tribunal, means a body of appeal. Purpose of these courts is to bring efficiency in judiciary by lowering the case burdens on traditional courts while providing a quick relief. So their purpose is dual. Firstly, it reduces the burden on the traditional courts. अदरवाइज दीज मैटर्स वुड ऑल्सो हैव गॉन टू दोज ट्रेडिशनल कोर्ट्स, उन पर और केसेस हो जाते. बट यहाँ ये ट्रिब्यूनल्स क्या कर रहे हैं, ये उन स्पेसिफिक मैटर्स के साथ डील करेंगे एंड विद इन अ शॉर्ट पीरियड ऑफ टाइम ऑल्सो द रिलीफ कैन बी ग्रांटेड. नाउ द लास्ट टॉपिक ऑफ दिस यूनिट इज फैमिली कोर्ट्स. द फैमिली कोर्ट्स डील विद मैटर्स रिलेटेड टू family disputes. And what can be family disputes? Matrimonial matters that include nullity of marriage. Nullity of marriage means basically कौन सी marriage nullify होगी? Voidable, valid, right? Judicial separation, divorce, restitution of conjugal rights. Restitution means to restitute or to come into the original position. Conjugal rights means the obligations resulting out of the matrimonial relationship of both husband and wife towards each other. That includes the physical relationship, which is also one of the important aspect of a marital relationship. Declaration as to validity of marriage means to declare a marriage valid. Like if a person who has first wife living, he marries for the second time, and the second wife files for declaring the marriage valid, her second marriage valid. So that can be a case, but of course it is not a valid marriage. Matrimonial status of the person. Suppose I give you an example. This is a person A married to person B. Okay, and after some time this person A falls in love with person C. Okay, and now this wife B, this is wife, W1 W2. Okay, now this W1 is now filing against A and for declaration of nullity of this marriage and to declare her marriage valid. Fine, this can be done, right? So that this marriage, if this marriage is valid, then obviously the subsequent marriage that A is doing while the first wife is living, that will be invalid, that will be void, right? So this is an example. Matrimonial status of the person means to declare the person as husband and wife. Matrimonial status से क्या आएगा? The persons who are the parties to the marriage, they will get the status of husband and wife. Property of spouses or any one of them means Stridhan, like Stridhan is the property of wife, absolute property. If there is a divorce, now wife is claiming कि मुझे वो स्त्रीधन वापस दिया जाए, but husband is not agreeing to that after marriage whatever was mine is yours and whatever was yours is mine, so I'm not going to return that, or I've spent that, from where I will return it now. So property of the spouses. Declaration as to legitimacy of any person. Guardianship of a person or custody of minor. A person can be child. Suppose that example that I gave you, A married to C, there is a child born out of it. What is the legitimacy of this child? So that declaration, because if he is legitimacy, that means if he is legitimate child of A, then he will get the succession rights in property of A, right? So that all thing has to be seen. Then property of spouses is also into consideration, because many a times in marital relationship there are joint accounts of husband and wife, joint property that they buy together. So in all those cases, how will be the partition done, or who will be the sole owner, who has paid the money, who is enjoying the possession and all that. Even maintenance can come under this. The Family Courts 1984 in India was enacted on 14th September 1984 to provide for family courts with a view to promoting conciliation and speedy settlement of disputes relating to marriage and family affairs. Conciliation means वापस आना, to resolve the dispute, and so that they can live together. Hindu marriages is a sacrament. Okay, so the main aim is कि किसी तरह ये कंसाइल कर जाए, किसी तरह इनके डिस्प्यूट्स रिजॉल्व हो जाएं और मैरिज सेव हो. The objective was to take family and marital disputes away from the overcrowded, intimidating and congested environment of traditional courts and bring them to congenial, sympathetic surroundings, because marriage is a very sensitive issue. There are various baseless or countless allegations which are put by the spouses against each other whenever there is a dispute of divorce or a suit for divorce. So the court has to be very sympathetic during such proceedings. So the objective, what are the objectives? First of all, promote conciliation, speedy settlement of disputes, family and marital disputes away from overcrowded, congested environment of traditional courts, and congenial, sympathetic surroundings. Conciliation between estranged family members and not confrontation. The aim is not to fight or to promote fight against them, but to bring them together. ठीक है? Emphasis was on a non-adversarial method of resolving family disputes. So objectives क्या हैं? This can from a short answer question. You need to learn it. ज़्यादा कुछ है नहीं, simple है. To resolve it speedily, to promote conciliation between estranged family members and not confrontation, right? To take it out of the overcrowded or congested environment to a sympathetic surrounding. Act stipulates that a party is not entitled to be represented by a lawyer without the express permission of court. However, invariably, court grants this permission, and usually it is a lawyer which represents the parties. Without parties, like every party is not a person who is having expertise knowledge in law, right? So if he is not having that knowledge, how will be presenting his arguments, or how will be he fighting his case effectively? So he needs a lawyer. So in general cases, or in all cases actually, court grants the permission to be represented by a lawyer. Most unique aspect regarding the proceedings before family court is that they are first referred to conciliation, and only after it, when the proceedings fail to resolve, then the matter is taken up for trial by the court. तो सबसे पहले जो मैटर है वो आर्बिट्रल ट्रिब्यूनल में जाता है, आर्बिट्रेशन या कंसाइलेशन के लिए, कि किसी तरह थर्ड न्यूट्रल पार्टी को बैठाकर शांति से दोनों की बातें सुनकर मैटर को रिजॉल्व करो. दैट इज़ कंसाइलेशन और आर्बिट्रेशन. सबसे पहले वहीं जाता है. बट इफ़ दे फेल, तब फिर वो कोर्ट में जाएगा, और बहुत एम्पल पीरियड ऑफ टाइम इज़ प्रोवाइडेड टू द पार्टीज़ कि वो अपने मैटर को आर्बिट्रेशन या कंसाइलेशन से रिजॉल्व कर लें. और तब अगर वो रिजॉल्व करने को तैयार नहीं होते, या कंसाइलेटर जो है वो फेल हो जाता है टू रिजॉल्व द डिस्प्यूट, देन ही आस्क you finally want to approach the court for resolution, the parties agree, तब मैटर कोर्ट पे जाता है. Conciliators are professionals who are appointed by the court. He may be a senior advocate or a judge, whosoever. Once a final order is passed, now इनका order भी final होता है, and it is equivalent to a decree passed by a court. Okay, so ऐसा नहीं कि इनके order का कोई value नहीं है. Once a final order is passed, a aggrieved party has an option of filing appeal before High Court. Such appeal is to be heard by a bench of 2 judges. Administrative tribunals. With a view to ease the congestion of pending cases in various high courts and other courts in the country, Parliament enacted Administrative Tribunals Act, which came into force in July 1985. Central Administrative Tribunal, that is CAT, were established in November 1985, Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta and Allahabad. Please learn that when it came into force, when it was established and where. In 4 cities, Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, Allahabad, initially in 4 cities. But then, as of now, there are 17 benches throughout the country with 33 division benches. Circuit sittings are held at Nagpur, Goa, Aurangabad, Jammu, Shimla, Indore, Gwalior, Bilaspur, Ranchi, Pondicherry, Gangtok, Port Blair, Shillong, Agartala, Kohima, Imphal, Itanagar, Aizawl and Nainital. CAT has been established for adjudication of disputes with respect to recruitment and conditions of service of persons appointed to public services and posts in connection with affairs of union or other local authorities within territory of India or under the control of GOI and for matters connected therewith or incidental to. CAT has been established. What was the purpose of establishing it? Administrative tribunal, right? That means related to executive or administrative branch of the government. So whosoever or whatever post or whosoever persons, officials who are appointed to the public services and post in connection to the affairs of union or other branches or other offices under the government of India, उनके रिक्रूटमेंट कंडीशंस या सैलरीज या डिस्प्यूट्स उनको सॉल्व करने के लिए ये बनाया गया था. Article 323 capital A added by 42nd Amendment to Constitution of India. Find out what is given in this article. Okay. Conditions of service of chairman, vice chairman. Chairman spelling is wrong. Members are governed by provisions of CAT. Salaries and allowances and conditions of service of chairman, vice chairman and members rule 1985 is amended from time to time. The condition of service of these officials whosoever are governed under the government of India or the provisions of CAT rule 1985, they are also amended from time to time, or any other law. Law is a dynamic concept. It is anyways amended from time to time as per the situations and circumstances change. So we are done with this unit. Next video, next unit we will be starting off. Thank you.